Gold Show. I'm your host, Larry Leese. Today we're diving into the latest streaming news from around the industry. But first, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Poddex, for sponsoring this episode. You can check them out today at poddex.com and use the promo code Larry21 for 10% off your order. If you want to see the Poddex in action, we've created a couple of videos using their product. You can check it out right up here and let us know what you think. And if you like the product, like we said, go to poddex.com, use the promo code Larry21 and save yourself 10% off your order. And now our first topic, Office Season 4 Superfan episodes have now been released. I miss The Office, and I bet you do as well. The thing is, over the pandemic, you probably rewatched it several times. It was the most streamed show in 2020. You know the episodes by heart, and after a while, it's all just stuck in your head. Back in April of 2021, however, Superfan episodes began streaming on Peacock. The NBC Universal streaming service knew they had to offer something a little more to entice some fans to follow the series instead of just buying it for themselves. So they made Superfan episodes. These extended cuts of episodes offer footage that was not widely seen and in some cases never even aired. At first there was only Season 3 Superfan episodes with never before seen moments, bloopers, featurettes, and alternate talking head interviews. Then Season 1 appeared in April 2021 and Season 2 in July. Now we have a new clip from Season 4, which began streaming its Superfan episodes on January 1st, 2022. Happy New Year to us. Not only do we have more Superfan fun and likely other seasons on the way to get us through whatever the hell comes next in the pandemic, but we have a Season 4 cold open clip where Michael Scott has a bit of a toilet issue. We've all dropped our phone into the toilet and oh man does that suck. However, I doubt any of us could have come up with a solution that Michael does. In case you are one of the few people who haven't rewatched the series in a while, let's just say that this clip will remind you of why you loved it in the first place. Michael not only drops his cell phone in, but also his Bluetooth, his wallet, his white strips, his tip calculator, and his candy corns. Just why are you eating candy corn, Michael? I understand why Dwight would fish them out for him more than I understood why anyone would put up such an abomination in their mouths. The toilet is where they belong. Fight me. Those candy corn Oreos can go in there as well. Okay, rant over until October. I just watched the clip, and I'll promise that it will improve your day immensely. Happy New Year, enjoy the Office goodies, and for Jack Skellington's sake, stop eating candy corn. And now our second topic, Space Force Season 2 finally has a release date. Netflix has unveiled our first look at the second season of Space Force, along with the official release date for next month. The team is back together to prove their worth to a new administration in the second season of Space Force. On Monday, Netflix announced that the second season of the comedy series will officially premiere on February 18th, 2022. Along with that announcement comes a slew of first look images, along with the official poster. But there's no footage to share of the new episodes at this time. The workplace comedy series Space Force follows the sixth branch of the U.S. Armed Forces, dubbed the U.S. Space Force. Steve Carell leads the cast as General Mark Naird, whose mission is to get boots on the moon by 2024, due to direct orders to do so given by an unnamed president. Steve Carell also co-created the series with Greg Daniels, who created the American adaptation of The Office. While the first season consisted of just 10 episodes, Season 2 will be a bit shorter with 7. The synopsis for Season 2 reads, Season 2 of Space Force picks up with the General and his underdog team having to prove their worth to a new administration while dealing with interpersonal challenges. Will the group come together or fall apart under the pressure? Space Force is only human after all. Space Force brings back all its main cast members from the original season. The returning series regulars include Steve Carell, John Malkovich, Ben Schwartz, Jimmy O. Yang, Greg Daniels, and Norm Hiscock serve as co-showrunners on the series. The pair also executive produced with Steve Carell, Howard Klein, Brent Forrester. Steve Carell told EW last year, quote, "It just seemed like a new avenue," explaining how the show was inspired by the new military entity created by Donald Trump. Quote, "It seemed like something that had never been explored before, obviously because it hadn't existed. So I think just given that, it could be really anything, because we'd be developing our show simultaneously as the actual Space Force was being created. There were no parameters, there were no rules, it was a blank sheet of paper for us." And that was intriguing. Of what he hoped would happen in season 2, Carell said, I have to look for the next big stress relief song scene. I always wanted to look for some new opportunities for him, and the odder and more surreal, the better to see how he might deal with some of the stresses and strains of his job. That's something that I'm kicking around at this point. What other odd, quirky ways of dealing with his life are we going to see? And whether it's a song or something else, I find stuff like that really funny. And when something comes out of the blue in a surreal and an odd way, I'd like to see more of that. Space Force is debuting its second season on February 18th, exclusively on Netflix. And our next topic, The Simpsons have become Disney Plus's most watched show of 2021. Step aside, Mando and Loki. The Simpsons are on the top as Disney Plus's most watched show of 2021, with over 700 episodes available to stream. The Simpsons has topped the list as the most streamed Disney Plus show of 2021, beating out brand new shows and exclusives. In a year where Disney's previous streaming hit The Mandalorian took a year off, the platform had no shortage of new content, with Marvel producing several brand new MCU live-action series, including WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and Hawkeye. Despite the huge hype surrounding the superhero shows and social media buzz and cultural zeitgeist surrounding them all equally, none of the Marvel media was able to outstream America's favorite animated family. The Simpsons, which has been running since 1989, is currently on season 33, with all the previous seasons, 700 plus episodes, dropping onto Disney Plus 2020 following the company's acquisition of Fox, with special shorts cross-promoting Disney and The Simpsons, including The Good, The Bart, and The Loki. The decades-old animated sitcom has become one of the biggest draws for newcomers to the streaming service. Following the famous family of Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, Maggie, and their surrounding Springfield residents, the long-running cartoon's popularity never seems to wane. Now, according to data gathered by What's on Disney Plus, The Simpsons was the most popular show in 2021, finishing above preschool shows Mickey Mouse, Clubhouse, and Bluey, as well as Loki and The Mandalorian. With the newest season of the animated comedy dropping exclusively on the platform for some international audiences, the show has dominated viewing figures online. Disney Plus has quickly become a key figure in the streaming wars, with some huge titles and properties exclusive to the House of Mouse dropping over the last year. Recent debuts such as Star Wars, The Book of Boba Fett, as well as the addition of some of the latest big-screen films including The Last Duel and Eternals, will only bring more and more new users in months to come, despite a lackluster online event in 2021's Disney Plus Day. Don't get me started on that again. The streaming platform remains increasingly popular among audiences at home. With over 700 episodes available to stream now, and new seasons continuing to be produced, The Simpsons remains one of the most valuable properties in Disney's arsenal. Other figures remain to be seen as to whether the Disney platform outstreamed competitors such as Netflix and Prime in 2021, but shows like The Simpsons have helped boost their service for yet another year. The current and ongoing season 33 of The Simpsons will continue next month. And our final topic, the Book of Boba Fett. Premiere viewership was 13% higher than Hawkeye. The Book of Boba Fett was viewed by 1.7 million during its first 5 days on Disney Plus, landing above the 2 premiere episodes for Hawkeye in November. The Book of Boba Fett's premiere viewership was greater than Hawkeye, according to a new report. The Book of Boba Fett is the latest high-profile series to hit Disney Plus and the first live-action Star Wars series since The Mandalorian finished Season 2 back in December 2020. While Star Wars fans have certainly had plenty to watch over the year with The Bad Batch and Star Wars Visions, Marvel Studios series have dominated the streaming platform since the start of 2021, with WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, and most recently, Hawkeye. Hawkeye generated headlines as the first 2 episodes of the series, which premiered the day before Thanksgiving, generated 1.5 million viewers, which was a 40% drop from Loki in the summer and the lowest of all live-action MCU series. Hawkeye wrapped up its season run shortly before Christmas, with the Book of Boba Fett set to premiere the following week, shortly before New Year's Eve. Given the overall popularity of Star Wars and the fan-favorite nature of Boba Fett as a character, the series was highly anticipated by many, and it was expected to draw in big numbers. Via deadline, 1.7 million U.S. households tuned in for the premiere of the Book of Boba Fett over its 5-day premiere from December 29, 2021 to January 2, 2022. That is a 13% increase in viewership from Hawkeye a month before. However, the Book of Boba Fett is 32% below Loki, which was the first major DC Plus series to premiere on a Wednesday, where it drew 2.5 million viewers from U.S. households. The Book of Boba Fett is just the beginning for Star Wars fans in 2022. The series is expected to wrap up on February 9th, and after that, both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor are expected to premiere sometime in 2022. A second season of The Bad Batch has been confirmed and will likely drop in 2022. And rounding out the year will be The Mandalorian Season 3. Depending on my life situation, I wouldn't mind a Mandalorian dropping for like the Christmas break. But that's just me personally. That would be a good time to release that. I do The Bad Batch on Thanksgiving. Andor, I would drop maybe August. Kenobi, I'd drop in like the early start of the summer. A number of factors could have contributed to the Book of Boba Fett beating Hawkeye in viewers. One is the sheer number of MCU entries in 2021. Hawkeye was in the middle between the actual releases of Eternal and Spider-Man No Way Home, and audiences may have been a bit overwhelmed with so much Marvel Studios material. While Disney has released 2 animated Star Wars series, the fact that the Book of Boba Fett is the first live-action series in over a year, along with no Star Wars film or game having been released recently, may have increased interest in the series. While Disney Plus in 2021 was very Marvel-centric, Star Wars will certainly be a driving force behind the streaming service in the new year. And finally, we take off for the day. We're back with our Poddex segment with funny films. And today's question, coming from the Funny Films deck, available on the Poddex app, is... I gotta go find that deck again. Have you ever left the movie theater knowing you had just seen a timeless classic comedy? That's tough. No, I don't think so. I think for me, like, the movies I've seen, like comedies, it's taken them a bit for them to actually become like classics. Like Pineapple Express, I watched in theaters however long ago it was, but I don't think that was a classic comedy, especially with Seth Rogen's career and James Franco's career. I just thought it would be a run-of-the-mill comedy from them, but it has taken off. Well, let us know in the comments section below what your answer would be. Have you ever left the movie theater knowing you had just seen a timeless comedy classic? And as always, if you want to support the show, You can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. And as always, please like and subscribe to the podcast and our YouTube channel. And we thank you for watching and listening to the Cinema Gold Show. Don't forget to stop by tomorrow or hear us on the podcast. Thank you and take care.